I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Oops, the podcast. Giulio, Ryan, Lynch. We're here. Spring is upon us.
We are here.
The Plant Boy's living his best life. We are doing it.
We're doing it.
We are doing it.
I'm untangling my headphones right now, and it's one of those things like making your bed that's just instant feedback of you're capable of doing things.
You can do
if you
this.
just put your phone down or just focus on something that's so minuscule yet rewarding when it's fully released and unraveled. Unraveled. So they're all set. They were in a ball before. Now they're not. So
sweet.
Yeah,
you're back.
Ball.
You've done it. Hey, Lynch has a baseball.
I'm gonna start bringing just little hand props.
I like that too.
While I record. So this is a official Major League Baseball, and it's got all the stitchings, all the fixings, and
stitchings and fixings.
It's just something that I want to hold.
Good, dude. It's good to hold. This is you being practice your new grip strength.
Yes.
Your newly found grip strength. Do I have a ridge on my head? Is my hair doing anything weird?
I don't know what you mean by ridge.
Like I was wearing headphones editing, and like sometimes it'll like make certain parts of the hair stand up or not. Is it not happening?
Look up. It's so short, I can't tell.
Well, as you guys can see, the haircut, I was sort of attempting to keep it on the DL because I have these videos coming out where I'm going to have this haircut, but I've decided that I'm going to rip this haircut probably for the whole summer. So there's no point in attempting to lay low for another month and a half before I release these videos from Bhutan and Nepal. So
yeah,
rocking the haircut.
You look like you could hurt somebody with that haircut.
Right? I know.
Do you feel like you look like you could hurt somebody?
No. Well, dude, it's funny. I got a fade for the first time in my life. I was trying to explain it to the guy what I wanted, and he was laughing because he's like, clearly you've never gotten this haircut before. And then he did it like too intensely. Like I had too much on top, and it just I looked like it just started to look crazy. Like I looked like a guy that I'm not, is how I felt at least. So I was like, all right, like take the top down too. So now it's good. But like, even with the fade, it like makes me look a certain way, but now it's like growing back in. So whatever. I went to a wedding.
Yeah.
Ricky's a guy who like gets fades all the time. So I was asking him what to say and all that stuff. He helped me. I got the haircut. Something interesting happened. A mistake that I need to correct. Got a haircut. And you know how a lot of the times at haircut places now, everyone's Venmos will be listed. Mm-hmm. You can scan the Venmo. And so they're all like listed in columns. So I accidentally scanned the wrong guy's Venmo and tipped the wrong guy. Like a minuscule amount. I'm not going to attempt to get that guy to transfer it. I think it was like, $7 on the $35 haircut. It's 20%. It's like pretty solid, I would argue.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that this guy for the past week hasn't been like, fucking Giulio, cheap bastard, didn't tip me.
You didn't tip him?
No, I tipped the wrong guy. And now I've been gone. I was at this wedding all weekend. I just got back. So, and they were closed Monday. So I'm going to go over there today.
Oh, okay.
I think, but I'm going to forget. So I need to remember that. I will remember. I'm the type of person who like can't sleep when I do something like this. So
what do you think the barber's response is going to be after you walk in? And
so let me make
what's his nonverbal response?
So this guy's cool. This guy's not the other guy. The guy that I've talked about before who like gave me a hard time, or the guy who was just like hard. This guy is great. He's going to be like, oh, dude, he's probably, there's a chance he forgot, didn't notice to begin with, or the other guy who worked there was like, I randomly got a tip. Was this your guy or something? I actually bet the highest likelihood scenario is that they figured it out and that he sent him the $7.
Is it a high foot traffic barber shop?
Sort of. And there's like beers there. It's cool. It's a good vibe. It's a good barbershop, good neighborhood barbershop. And it's better than like the average one. Like, this is like a real solid spot.
Okay.
I love it there.
So you think that he'll be very like, oh, Juliet, all good.
No. I had an appointment. So I believe that they will have collectively put two and two together that this guy who I sent it to was the wrong guy and that he sent it to my guy. I'd say that's outcome number one. The most likely outcome number two is that he didn't notice. Number three, he was confused and surprised and was like, oh, Giulio's like Doesn't seem like that kind of guy. Number 4, the least likely is that he was mad about it. In my opinion, based on knowing Kevin. He's a good dude.
Kev?
He's chill. He's from California. He's like a chill ass NorCal dude.
Yeah. If I was working for tips, I don't think I would forget if anyone forgot to tip me. So I hope that it was resolved right away. And as chill as Kev can be.
Dude, this is the difference. The Venmos are on the wall. I don't go, what's your Venmo? That doesn't happen. So I actually think it's and maybe you're still you and that's what you think. Because like Will Winter used to be a bartender and he does have stories like this, but it's different when like the person tips you while they're looking at you versus not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I walk away from him, never see him again, and that's when the tip occurs. Which I think makes it so that he'll be less likely to notice.
That's fair.
Potentially.
That could fall in the cracks. I just think at the end of the day, I cut 10 people's hair today. I got 5 cash and 4 Venmos. Well, it's just something, and
Who was it?
I don't know what Kevin's like, but yeah.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna write this down. Ask him his reaction. Ask Kevin.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be a really calm nothingism, but if this was like the 90s, I could see this being a Seinfeld episode. This could be your side quest and him being disgruntled towards you.
So Hillary says that I have been doing too much lately. I've had some examples recently. At this wedding we were just at, which I want to talk about in a sec, I have an example where I didn't think this was that crazy. Hill Dog thought it was crazy, and like the 7 people she either told the story to or made me tell the story to, all were like, flabbergasted. They thought it was funny, but they were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is what happened. We are at the Four Seasons Cabo del Sol. Nice place, right? This is a fancy, top tier chain brand hotel, right? The Four Seasons. It's as good as it gets, right? Up there. And I am walking around the front desk. Maybe I just asked a question. I'm right there. And this family walks up to the desk. And this is a family who looks like they would be staying there. Okay. I feel like that's important for this. They fit right in. There's no world where anyone would be like, what is that family doing here? This is like 40s guy in shape, good looking wife, 2 good looking kids, like whatever. Not that being good looking matters, but they just looked like
a Lotus family. They
looked clean and they looked like they belonged. Okay. At a fancy place. They go up to the front desk and they go, do you think we could see what a room looks like? So they must have been visiting. I don't know. It's, Mexico is not a place where like, especially in places like this, where you're like popping around town. It's like you're in a place and you're there. So like the fact that they were there, they must have been visiting someone, whatever. They go, can we see what a room looks like? And the front desk person goes, oh, sorry. Like there's a wedding this weekend. Like we're basically fully committed. And I go, you guys can come see my room. Is that insane?
What were you guys on your way to do?
Nothing. I wasn't with them. I don't know what I was doing. I was probably just hanging around. Like we were just at the hotel. Like I don't think I was going anywhere. I don't know what they were doing. And when I said that, the family was like, oh, like they almost acted like I was being weird. I'm like, you guys are weird. You're weird. You're the one being weird. I am being nice.
I'm showing you my room.
I want to show you my room. And it's not like it was just the kids or just the mom and the kids. This is a big dad. This dad was a bigger guy than me. There's no scenario where this was anywhere near anything other than being slightly out of the ordinary. But it was potentially nice. And then they declined and that was it. And then later I saw them in the hallway because I guess they must have convinced them to show them a room. And I was like, oh, and they were like, oh, like, thanks again for that. And I was like, then I took it away. I was like,
you nonverbaled them.
Have fun with your showing of a place that you can't stay where I'm staying. I didn't say that, but I tried to take away the kindness.
Was Hill Dog there for the invitation?
Neither.
Okay.
I just explained this to her after, and I told her to her as if it was like somewhat normal, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You did that?" I don't think she was like mad. She like probably ultimately thinks it's like cute and like what my personality, whatever. But like everybody thought it was the craziest thing they'd ever heard.
Yeah.
I felt gaslit.
Yeah. It's a little weird. I think it's a little weird, but it was innocent. You're looking at dad, mom, kids a little bit. invitation to everybody, just looking at everybody. I think it's odd, even more so the fact that they asked to see what her room looks like. So I feel like that opens
I've
the
never
door
heard of that.
for you to be the
Totally.
neutralizing offering of like,
I'm
that's
almost-
really weird, but I don't know.
almost-
This is kind of weird, but it's normal compared to what you are requesting.
It's as if I'm embarrassed for them. And therefore, hey guys, why don't you come on down to my room? This is the fruit they put out for me. This is the balcony.
I'd love to see Hill Dog walking into the hotel to see a family in there with you.
Hill, we have company.
How old were the kids?
6 and 4.
Uh,
I didn't think it was weird.
and
They're
then-
not cynical yet.
I know. But just to walk in on mom, dad, and the 2 kids, it's
They're
odd.
walking in on me. I'm not walking in on them. We're in public. They're coming to my room.
Yeah, but you're bringing them to your room.
Yeah. So they're walking in on me.
They're walking in on Hill Dog. They're bringing them up to the
if
room.
She's in the room, which she was. She actually wasn't.
That'd be quite the ambush.
It would have been really. She would have gone, "Oh, hey, hi, yeah,
Hi there.
I'm Hillary. This is Glenn."
You got all your stuff spruced out in the bathroom. The little kid's like, I gotta go. I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, little boy, no pee in here. Go to the pool for that.
Yeah. It's a little weird, but their requests, I've never heard that before.
I got shot down a lot this weekend.
Okay,
So
next.
another one. All right, the wedding band, amazing. How do wedding bands assemble? Is there a wedding band manager who pairs? Who's like, oh, you guys need another, whatever. I got a trumpet guy. I'll pair him with you. Do you know? Does anyone know?
Let us know.
Let us know.
My wedding band, they perform at like private events and things like that. And I think that's how they network. But how do they assemble?
How did they initially assemble?
I know, that's just what they do. But
A
how did they
saxophone,
dig?
a drummer, a black guy, a white woman, a white guy.
It's to the hip, the hop, the hip to the hippie, the hip, hip, hop. You don't stop. That's a white guy.
A guy was rapping really fast. It was impressive, but it was the black guy, which was much more appropriate than the Macklemore guy who pops out of the back. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed or something. It's so insane.
Hell breezy. A white guy though,
Exactly.
wearing a vest.
Ho, flow, so unusual.
To the left.
Biggie, 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 can't you see?
Somehow.
Your words just hypnotize me. Hey. All right, so there's one guy in this band. Now, if you are going to an LA-based thing, the wedding band people are going to be, I know the wedding bands travel, but if they're like based in a place where people have talent, Nashville, LA, you're going to get unbelievable singers. The same way you do a karaoke in these cities. Forget about it. You go to karaoke in LA, it's like, I think that's how Ed Sheeran got discovered or something. Or he was at an open mic, but whatever. So the guy, the little white dude, was unbelievable. This guy was singing better than the actual people who sing the song. Each cover was better than the song. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And I was telling everybody, and they were all like, yeah, no, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I see him later walking around, and I was like, dude, you're unbelievable. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. And I was like, no, you're like, we were saying you're like better than the people in the song. And he was like, no, thanks, man. Yeah, that's right. And I was like, is that not a good compliment? Is that annoying? Did I do some annoying wedding band thing?
Did you not like his lack of appreciation in the compliments?
It felt like I was bothering him.
And that bothered you?
Kinda. I felt like a ridiculously nice compliment.
Did you come back with a third double down?
I may have. I may
a
have been
triple
like,
down?
yeah. I may have been like, yeah, dude. Like,
You going to the bathroom?
can I?
Are you going to the bathroom? I'm going too.
Unbelievable. And you look like, I get it. Like, you know, if I have a show and people all the time give me backhanded compliments. Man, you're really close to being on Netflix someday, dude. I've been on Netflix. Or just something annoying. There's so many ways to be annoying that I know that I'm wrong at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you just can't say anything to me. No, say what you want. If it happens to go a little astray, there'll be the occasional, oh, I told my friends we were coming to see you. They're like, who's that guy? I've never heard of that guy. Okay, yes, I know. I'm not that well known. Okay, thanks. Whatever. You know what I mean? But I was running the different scenarios in my brain. I don't think I did that at all here. I didn't do anything like that. I wasn't like, man, you're this close It wasn't like, man, you know what I mean? Should I have been like, and if, I don't want to be like, do you have any independent music I can hear? Because what if he doesn't? Maybe that's an annoying question. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. I just see what I see and I hear what I hear. This guy is better than everybody of the original songs. Than all the original songs, he's better. Is that annoying to him? Because he's like, I know I am. It's disappointing that
I'm here.
have not turned. But dude, I mean, I think they make a lot of money for these gigs.
Yeah, no, but maybe he's been longing for more for a while.
Maybe.
Like maybe being in TV or film or on stage at a concert and not doing weddings for another summer because he didn't get the gig that he really thought he was getting. You say they're so talented.
It's possible. I know, but like,
it's a moneymaker, but it's not the dream.
this is the way I see it. The dream is making money. You get to a certain age in doing this, and this guy didn't seem like a spring chicken. Okay, this guy was probably in his 30s. He's been around. You know what I mean? And he's managed a way to make a living doing this. So like for me, if I get the worst gig of all time, but I'm getting paid a lot, I'm so happy. I'm the happiest person on earth. And I didn't say anything condescending. Is that condescending in a way?
No.
Not at all. I'm like, you're better than the guy. I wasn't like, you almost sound like the guy, which isn't even condescending, but would have been more leaning in the condescending direction than this.
No, it's all uplifting.
All positive, I thought. And he didn't seem that into it. I wasn't even drunk. I wasn't even being a drunkard. I was like, man, I wasn't like, ah. There was, people were doing all sorts of stuff at this wedding, I think. And I was not. I just had a couple drinks. I was very within my normal behavior. I would have done this sober, what I had done. I just don't get it.
How much did you touch him?
I didn't even touch him.
No touch.
No hug. No sweaty hug.
Yeah, you don't deserve that.
I don't deserve it.
You don't deserve that. What did
Deserve
Hilldog
better.
think when you told her?
I didn't tell her this.
Interesting.
I haven't told her this yet.
I think she'd be on your side with that one. You weren't doing too much there.
I don't
Not
think
that you
so.
were asking if you were or were not. But that's not fair.
Not fair.
You find his socials?
No, I need to though. I'm going to figure it out.
I could figure it out.
And maybe I'll message him and be like, hey man, like, I've been thinking about it.
You should.
Did I do something wrong?
Can we ask him? Can we like what the hell?
Dude, we can't.
Can I ask
Oh
him?
my God, we can't. I just don't want it to get back to the bride. That I got sensitive to the band. A week after
It's not her wedding anymore.
It's
not her wedding
Yeah, she'll be
anymore.
in Bora Bora
Yeah.
by the time this comes to.
I need to know why he wasn't appreciated. I'd be happy to.
Was he playing it cool?
Are you playing? I'll call him. Were you playing it cool? Are you not happy? Because that's a really nice thing for someone to
maybe
say
he's
to
having
you.
a tough day.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I really
You
want to
don't know what's going on with people. You can't assume, right? But yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, I think there were enough Instagram stories posted yesterday and today. I think I could do it. I could find it out on my own and record it, so you don't have to be a part of it.
Okay, I'm open to it.
I want to know.
I want to know. It's so bizarre. I don't know.
Also, you know how it is accepting compliments, like back to like, oh, thank you. Maybe you were one of the, maybe you were the 80th person.
I doubt it, but it's possible.
in 6 minutes that complimented him like that.
Because he was having his break. He was tired. He had a big gig the night before, has one tomorrow, and something happened at home in his personal life. I don't know. Yeah.
You said he was a short guy?
Yes.
Was he an alto?
He had a really solid upward range.
Oh, yeah.
He was incredible.
Yeah, he's a sassy little guy.
I wanted more of him, in fact.
You should have said that.
I wanted more.
That should have been the triple down. I want more.
He should have been the lead guy. There was other guys who like looked away where it was like, okay, this guy looks away, but this guy was the guy.
So maybe that's it. Maybe
that's
there's some
Maybe he
inter-political
knows.
band issues going on over here. And you saying all that was, yeah, I know. I know.
Which is actually more of a fraternizing moment than I think.
Yeah, how is he to communicate that to you in such short time?
He's like, tell this to Manny,
Yeah,
the manager.
tell this to Manny.
Manny, the manager.
Wouldn't be the first time someone fucking said that.
Wouldn't be.
Wouldn't be the first time. Let's split this band up. Or let's get our guy, let's get our guy on top.
Let's get our guy a deal.
Let's start a GoFundMe. Let's bring so much attention to this guy. And let's raise him a ton of money.
I think he's got to be making a bunch of money. Like he's absolutely killing it. So shout out to that guy. Dude, I never been to Cabo. You ever been to Cabo? It's
No.
far away. So for anybody who doesn't know,
Looking it up.
Cabo San Lucas. It is on the Baja Peninsula, the southern tip of the Baja Peninsula, which is like to the left of the Gulf of California. So there's like mainland Mexico, and then this little kind of peepee that sticks down from California.
A little beepy.
That's its own little peninsula. And man, it's beautiful. It's like, it's dry. It's kind of like rocky coast, gorgeous sunsets. I saw a giant whale, which was cool. I've never seen a whale. I saw a giant whale pop out of the ocean. That was super cool. And, you know, like a place where it's arid, so the weather's very consistent, more so than sort of on the Yucatan Peninsula, which is where East Coast people tend to go just because it's closer. And, you know, Hill Dog's been raving about Cabo her whole life. Her most important thing for a vacation is predictable weather. She likes having a nice sunny time. And if there's a place that doesn't always get good weather, she has a bit of a panic attack in anticipation and just throughout. If there's a cloud forecast, then everyone starts being like, well, maybe it's like a tropical forecast and like it's just going to be for like an hour and then it won't rain. And then so she's always so in a place where it's not going to rain at all, she's happy. That's all she needs, which I respect.
Yeah. Your the trip that you went on, not your honeymoon, but with Hill Dog's family, wasn't there a little bit of inclement weather?
There was a little bit of weather.
Weather,
There was a
and
little
everyone
bit of
was chill, and she was having a tough time.
She was, I think there's a chance that there was a couple people having a tough time, but she was the most visibly having a tough time.
Yeah.
She wanted the weather to be really good. And look, you know, we ended up having plenty of good weather. It was a great trip. I think she would say it was a great trip, but she does get anxiety about the weather. So weather was great here. Other really good pros. This hotel is brand new. There's nothing like a brand new hotel because the functionality is just so high. They figured it all out up until today. Now things will unfold in the next couple of years that will make things need to be changed or will make the next new hotel better. But this hotel, everything worked perfectly. The rooms were amazing. Every room had an ocean view and a balcony, and all the buttons made sense. And you walk in the room and the shades automatically open. The bathrooms are huge. Like, it was a great hotel. Really, really solid, and a great place to be posted up for 3-4 days, which is what we did. We got there a day before everybody with her best friend and her husband. And there was a couple other people kind of scraggling around, and we, you know, chilled and we eased into the weekend really nicely. The group in general, a great group. And I get why it's the sort of go-to place for LA people. It's a 2-hour flight from LA. From the East Coast, it's closer to 6 hours, which is, you know, leaning toward a long flight. I had just been on a 15-hour flight before, so it wasn't as bad for me, I would say. And a couple of interesting things happened on the flight. Number one, I watched a flight attendant. Okay, so this is what happened. Hillary and I, we booked the window in the aisle, hoping that no one would sit in the middle.
That's bold.
I know, but someone did. They did.
So yeah.
No, it is, but this is why it isn't. It is, but this is why it isn't. The person in the middle is always going to want to take the aisle. So Hill Dog is sitting in the middle, and this woman approaches, and she realizes what's about to happen. And before we even ask, she goes, "Oh my God, yes. Fuck yes." She went, "Fuck yeah." And then she started like cursing in celebration. She wasn't screaming, "Fuck." She was like, "Motherfucker, this rules." And then her husband was there. She's like, "Oh, baby, I fucking love you." Like, you know, she probably swore a few times, but it was not, she wasn't being loud, and it was obviously like cute and funny, and there was no problem. The flight attendant goes, "Watch your language. Language. There's children on this flight. Watch your language." I was like, "Is that allowed? Is that a thing? Are you allowed to?" Like, I didn't know that was in the flight attendant's description to tell people not to swear interpersonally. I was like very taken aback by it, and I couldn't help but notice that the person swearing may not have been white.
And the flight attendant may have been white.
She was, yeah, but like it felt very like
Charged.
telling like, I don't know if she would have done the same thing. She probably would have, but dude, I don't know. I was like, this flight attendant's too comfy. This feels icky.
Is she older?
Yes, and she continued to do unhinged shit throughout the flight. There was like a solid amount of turbulence. Which this was funny. Like as we're sitting in the airport, this is like a movie moment. The Weather Channel's on. And it's like, there's a crazy storm heading through Arkansas. And then our flight just goes directly through Arkansas. I'm like, great. But then it's getting really bumpy. And the flight attendant was sitting behind me for some reason. Like her spot was behind me. So I heard her talking to the other flight attendant. And she's like, there's people getting up and walking around when the seatbelt sign was on. She's like, are you going to say something to them? Or are you just going to wait till somebody bashes their head against the ceiling so that they all learn? I was like, okay, that feels unhinged, but maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. Then somebody like hit the button. They like needed something. And the woman walks over and she goes, hey, just so you know, like I got up based on my own decision, but I'm putting myself at risk right now. Like I could break my neck against the ceiling. She goes, in fact, I have a colleague who that happened to. There was crazy turbulence and they bashed their head against the ceiling and broke their neck. And I'm like, why are you telling us about crazy in-flight scenarios that happen to you? This is inappropriate.
Yeah. So
4 for 3, right?
Well, I think we can confirm she's not racist.
You just think she's nuts?
I just think she's angry and nuts.
And just like has had it and is like, I'm retiring soon. Fuck this shit.
She should have had her final flight. You got to be encouraging. That's got to be, if I was interviewing flight attendants to be part of my crew, like I need encouraging eye contact. I need compassion. I need a calm voice. And if something does go awry, there's a much better way to go about it than screaming at somebody to watch their language or to call somebody out for potentially putting one of my flight attendants' lives at risk to do what they're supposed to do when someone clicks on the thing that has them come over.
Yeah, just don't come over then. Wait till the seatbelt sign is off or whatever.
There's no need to guilt them after the fact. In fact, you're increasing the likelihood of injuring yourself by even making that statement.
It was so stupid.
So,
yeah, okay.
What are the top 3 qualities that you'd be looking for in a good flight attendant if you were the pilot?
I think just like being friendly, right? Friendly, accommodating, and still able to like enforce the rules gracefully.
Grace.
Right?
Yeah.
Being able to be like stern but friendly and fair.
Yeah.
And not go overstep or overshare.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah.
And dude, both tough flights, both directions. Like that one was super bumpy, whatever. Long-ish, you know what I mean? Almost 6 hours. And then the way back's supposed to be faster, but there was so much traffic coming into Newark. And this is Sunday. Now look, after a wedding, it's pretty tough to like be at your full energy on that Sunday. That travel day is typically tough. You know what I mean? And this is we're going back to the East Coast from the West Coast. So like we're leaving in the morning, getting back at night situation, landing at 8:30, whatever. And it was supposed to be like 5-ish hours. It ended up being 6 because we had to like wait to land for a while. So the pilot just kept saying too much shit. He just kept talking to the point where one of my friends said he saw people doing the flap in the hand gesture. If you're not watching this on YouTube. And then he gets on the intercom. He's like, hey guys, look, he's like, they're holding us for a while now because of too much air traffic coming into Newark, busy airport. We got about half an hour of fuel left. There is a chance that we're going to have to land in Baltimore to refuel. And, then we'll refuel, we'll wait till we get cleared, and then we'll be back up in the air and we'll land and it'll be all good or whatever. And everybody's like, oh, you know what I mean? And then that didn't happen. Why would you tell us about that possibility?
Mm-hmm.
We're all like angsty and we just want to go home, dude. Why would you tell us about a crazy scenario that isn't going to happen? It didn't come close to happening.
Sounds like a bad attempt at under promising and over delivering, where he wants you guys to think he's like a hero. Like, don't worry, we didn't have to do that.
Right.
That could have been completely made up.
Yeah, we ended up just getting there the time we were gonna. You
Yeah.
think that was completely made up? There's no way. That would be insane.
Well, it's kind of it's kind of lame to announce that.
It's insane.
Because I feel like he would know, of all people, how realistic the chances are of that. If it's over 50%, then maybe it's worth mentioning. But if it was never over 50% likelihood of landing into Baltimore, leave that to yourself, Cap.
Dude, yeah. Like, stop. Like, it's been a long day. Like, people have to work tomorrow. Like, just why are you telling us this, dude? And then we ended up getting in when it said we were gonna.
Mm.
But, like, you know how they bake in extra time? So like on a flight like that, you typically get in early. It'll be
Yeah.
like you land at 8:40, but like you're going to get in at 8:15 or 8:30 or whatever. We got in at 8:40, like on the nose or something. And after all that, you know what I mean? It's like, dude,
That wasn't worth.
doing too much. Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Not worth it. So, I don't know, whatever.
We decided, a couple of friends of mine, we decided to not fly back from the bachelor party on Sunday. We decided to stay until early Monday morning. I think doing that is going to make the Sunday hell day turn into a mental wellness day.
It's a great move. It's a great move.
We're playing golf at a beautiful course
And this is the one
in
that's
Nashville. I'm going this week.
You're playing golf on the Sunday?
We're playing on that Sunday. Like, what a better way to just
Agreed.
sweat out anything.
You're all doing it or just those?
Just three of us. Also, a lot of it has to do with the fact that flights back a month ago were $889 one way.
Fuck that. Yeah.
So we're actually, by playing at an expensive, nice golf course and staying at a hotel, we're still saving hundreds of dollars by
great.
staying.
Yeah, a bunch of people at this wedding did that too because the Cabo flights on Sunday were super expensive. But, you know, Hill Dog had to work on Monday, so we had to come back. But it was definitely a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great move.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say that it's a little frustrating that when I go to book flights, I can't accrue miles unless I opt in to anything above a basic fare.
So
It's
that's true for
really
Delta.
annoying-
Is
yeah.
it true on everything?
Yeah. I'm flying JetBlue down, Delta back, and it's the same thing. You can't get points.
So annoying.
Really frustrating because the difference, if I'm buying like a $200 ticket and it's a basic fare, and then the next one up is like $439.
That's the case.
Yeah, and that typically is the case. And I never pull trigger, but because of that, I never get points.
Yeah, that's bad.
I have very few miles.
The other thing too, I think with a basic though, you can cancel and you still get the credit, right?
My JetBlue one, no.
Oh wow.
Delta,
No credit at all.
my ticket for Delta was my JetBlue ticket was $118. It's a $100 fee. So basically, I lose it.
Damn.
I thought about moving my flight to Friday morning, and I can't do it.
Yeah, I have sort of just gotten used to booking Maine because the flexibility is typically important, and it is annoying though that it's more expensive.
Yeah, but you're right. I am realizing all these little hiccups and like this last minute change that's come my way into my schedule. I'm like, damn, if I go Friday morning, that wouldn't be that big of a deal, and that would be good for me. But I can't do it because it's like an extra like $230, and I just don't got that kind of money right now with the wedding and the honeymoon.
I feel you, bro. Yeah, no, good for you, man. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and at the end of the day, a lot of that stuff is bullshit anyway. Like you're literally paying for the miles. You might as well just buy miles.
Yeah,
the extra money if you want miles. You know what I mean? So I think ultimately it is what it is, and hopefully it works out. But like I understand the frustration. It's an annoying update that they've made the loyalty stuff worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's hard to earn any loyalty. I fly with Delta 90% of the time, and I got nothing to show for it.
yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So it's interesting talking about tracking flights. Like for this particular flight to Cabo, we had to get a little creative because the flights were super expensive, and so I put in the dates that I wanted to go, and just for the return flight, and it was, or I think maybe for the whole flight, was tracking them. Right, it was a crazy experience getting the track because I don't know how to turn that off. We'd already booked them, like it was over or whatever, but I was still getting the updates, and it would kind of fluctuate. It'd be like 1,000, 1,100, then it would go down to 800, then 1,000, then 790, 1,200, 1,400, 1,500. 5 days before the flight, it goes down to 500.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is that normal? I thought that conventional wisdom says if you don't book out in advance, it becomes unaffordable. I guess you maybe just still have to get lucky. Like maybe there were seats open on the flight. I don't know. But I thought it was crazy that happened.
Well, I've noticed that you can hedge your bets now. I've realized you can hedge your bet. You get a refundable ticket. Day of, you would think tickets are exorbitant. But sometimes, just like getting a ticket to go to the Yankees game last minute, like a flight that was $300 the day before could be $64. I've seen it. I've seen it. I jokingly, my brother was like, "Oh, my friend's in Miami today, like, but I got nothing going on. I got no plans this weekend. Can you hang out?" I was like, "I can't hang out. How about you go to Miami?" And he's like, "No, dude, that's crazy." I'm like, "Let me look at flights. Let me look at flights." And I looked at flights. There was a flight for $64, 3 hours after whatever
Spirit?
time that was. No, it was it wasn't Spirit. I forget.
Something
Might have been
decent?
Frontier, but
Yeah, but still, it's
but regardless,
incredible.
$64.
That's crazy.
And so that's a day of ticket, but I don't know. You can't live your life like that.
You can't. But that's the McGovern fare. McGovern loves flying Frontier and Spirit. He's like, dude, Zach, who's done the pod once, him and Danny, sparring partners, figuratively speaking.
Have you flown Spirit?
Yes.
What is first class like on Spirit?
I think it's like JetBlue. Like there isn't one.
Really?
Yeah. And there may not even be like a better seat. I don't know for sure. There probably is, but there's no first class. And I know JetBlue has Mint. Like, I don't know if Spirit long haul Spirit flights have that or not, but like the standard Spirit flights, just like all seats are created equal.
Just cattle.
Yeah. I think that the problem with Spirit is the fact that from what I've heard, there's just more likely to be delays. And obviously they charge you for bags and stuff, but everybody charges for bags. So like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spirit and Frontier, I've flown each of them once or twice, and I know everybody says they suck. I suspect they do. It's just been so long.
But it's the exact same Airbus, right? As the other ones?
Potentially. Yeah. I think it's just the way that they set it up inside.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like, because it's so cheap, like maybe they don't pay off the fucking air traffic controller as much. So like, if that's even a thing, like,
Ooh, like bidding?
like maybe they just have less like air rights or something.
That's interesting.
I don't know though. I'm making that up.
No, I'm just gonna believe that.
It sounds right.
I'm gonna blindly believe that.
I get off by flying on new planes, on new airlines. I think it's always interesting to see. So like if I end up on a rando, I actually typically enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Because to your point, it's all the same planes. And I've always made that point too. But recently I made that point in the Afghanistan video about flying Cam Air, which is the Afghan airline. And a bunch of people commented, they're like, all right, the planes might be the same, but the regulations are not. And I was like, oh, interesting.
That's scary.
I don't love the sound of that.
That's why you see once a year a 720p video of somebody recording outside the window in Indonesia.
Lion Air.
And then it's like, and then it just cuts. Yeah. Every year.
Hate to see it. I try not to click on those on Twitter because I don't want that to turn into my feed.
Yeah.
Once you click on something, that's it. You're seeing it for the rest of your life.
What's on your feed right now?
My feed?
Your feed.
My feed. Tennis and like a lot of Barstool stuff. Nadal says something very, very interesting. He's like, as you are committed to doing something, like if you constantly feel like you're sacrificing too much, you get worn down by it. You need to like put yourself in a situation where you don't feel like you're constantly sacrificing. Like obviously there's some sacrifice, but like you need to try to curate it in a way that makes it sustainable. And I was like, that rings pretty true.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of the time I'm like, that's it. Tomorrow I'm doing this. And then I don't. If it was like something insane, it's like, okay, interesting. You got to be like reasonable to try to chip away at it all.
So how do you balance comedy with the married life?
Yeah, right. Or whatever it is.
You can cut that.
No, you can keep it in. But everything, dude. Like, whether it's, the gym, fitness, like anything that you need to do every day in order to make progress, like you need to try to set it up in a way that makes sense. Like even editing videos, like, and I've tried to do this, but just like set yourself up for success so that you don't burn out. You know what I mean? You want to like have some kind of balance in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My phone's been spending a lot of time in the bedroom when I'm not in there. During the day, I throw my phone in there.
Do you get text on your computer?
No.
Oh, wow.
I've never had that. That takes up way too much space.
It does take up a lot of space.
It takes up a lot of space. I turn that off right away.
Yeah, I need to figure that out better because it does take up a lot of space on my computer too. But like sometimes it's really helpful to just like, if I'm talking to Zach Ray, who's the guy who films my travel stuff, if I'm like, yo, dude, like, what do you think about this? Like, I can export the like clip that I want to show him and just text it to him on the computer, and like definitely saves a little time, but I definitely waste a lot of time being aware of my messages and checking them and fucking,
Yeah, you go into try to clear space on your phone, like besides just the videos that are on your phone, the messages that send, each time you send them, they go out the same size as they are as a regular video on your phone. So if I send you like clips every once in a while, I go through and I delete the messages of the
Oh,
clips
yeah.
that I send you, because those are like hundreds of megabytes.
Massive files. Yeah.
Massive
Totally.
files.
Well, dude, good shit. I'm still thinking about launching that Patreon for my travel shit in May. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you want some more stuff. I've already been having really cool ideas about what to put behind the paywall as far as like behind the scenes stuff and cool extras. So if you really like my travel shit, and even if you just want to support it, obviously I'd appreciate it. So I'll have more news about that soon. I am going to be in Boston with Lynch June 12th at Laugh Boston. It's a Thursday. One show. It's going to be great. Really excited about it. I'm also
Super
in
stoked.
Nashville the 20th and the 21st at Zany's. I am at the Comedy Club at Duckworth's in Charlotte from the 17th to the 19th of July. And then St. Pete again in September 26th to 27th. Got a couple more coming up this year as well. Looking forward to all of it. NotJulio.com for tickets. Watch my special. Blah, 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 blah. Oops the podcast. Oops@gmail.com. Lynch.
Links to Giulio's shows and socials and my socials at Ryan is Really Play in the YouTube description below. Steam Room Etiquette, thank you to everybody that came out on Saturday for our first show. It was such a fun time. It's great to see some of you there. And our next show is going to be on Wednesday, May 14th. I will not be in attendance, but please check out the social media, SRE Improv. It is such a fun group of really cool people that are absolutely hilarious, very talented, and we're going to continue doing shows every single month, and I've had so much fun doing it so far, so I'd love to see you guys come out to that, because I think it's a really unique and fun time, especially if you've never been to an improv show. So I'm at Ryan is Really Polite on all socials, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.